with events agencies? What are the criteria?
I think one of the things is the agency will have to be forward-looking, right? So, just like all our brands, we like to be relevant to currently what's going on in the world. So, with the agencies that we work with, we like them to have the same thought process, right? And, being a judge in one of these events, we see a lot of agencies actually taking the storytelling part to a really nice level and making a really strong connection with their consumers or customers, right? So that's primarily what we look for.
So in terms of pitching, so what do you look for in the agency?
That's a good question. I think in terms of pitching, I would say that we look for surprises, things that we haven't thought of before, right? So we want to get to a place where, it's different than the rest of the world's offering, right? So maybe some nice surprises and truly just think about something that we haven't thought of.
Right. So there's also this practice of blind pitching, which is not
Right.
very common.
Right.
But when it comes to blind pitching, you don't know who you're working with.
Right.
But it's relationship also important.
Yes.
The history that you work with brand, with the agency, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the history, because there are some strong agencies, right, and they have the support of their strong resources, right. So that is actually very helpful in terms of if you have a vision, you want to carry out something, that they actually have the resources to help you achieve it. I actually like blind pitching, but I also think that, to your point, I think it's very important to have a good foundation of an agency that has a history of doing good work.
But when it comes to events agencies especially, some people told me that events is slightly different because its
Right.
execution is longer.
Right.
So is the history more important?
It depends. It depends, right? There's always a certain amount of leap of faith in these kind of things, right? So if we are conservative and very careful about our spend, I would say yes. The history of a certain agency, what they have achieved before, we know the scale they've done it before, absolutely helps, right? It depends on the scale, right? If it's a bigger scale, then that comes into play.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about costs. So some brands sometimes they cut costs,
Right.
spendings. So would cost be a in terms of cost and effectiveness and the history of the agency, which is more important?
Absolutely. The short answer is yes. Like all companies, we look for a return on investment, right? So that's it goes without saying. We also realize that not only us, but other companies, the budgets are not as lavish as before, right? But I would say that depending on the product that we're trying to push, right? I've seen some agencies with very modest budget that can do an excellent job, right? So it really depends on the product itself and the scale, I think. Yeah.
So what do you wish agencies know more about brands?
I almost think that they work very hard in learning about brands, right? So within the first half an hour of the meeting, you would know if you're in the same spot or not. So to answer your question, I think the connectivity, if you are connecting with consumers, right, the voice of customers, that's important, and the relevance, right? So if your brand, you want to build the relevance to the rest of the world or your consumer, right? So does your agency understand that? Because sometimes we cannot quantify, that connection, right? So I think it's the agency's job to articulate themselves to the point where they know your vision and they can tell you that with their resources and their know-how, they can get you there. So, okay, we're good? Okay, thank you.